Hi, it's Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. So it's Friday 13th of October, round about 12:40, so just before lunchtime. I did actually start to record this kind of vlog last weekend. I think it was on the Sunday, but the weather was so atrocious. The rain was so heavy that the noise was too much. My camera picks up, it's quite sensitive. I mean, you'll hear it sometimes in terms of hearing the birds, but the rain, it was so incessant. So I've ditched a lot of that. I think I had about 4 or 5 hours worth of footage. Now, I'm not getting rid of all of that. I am going to put some in a moment, just to let you see where I've been getting to with various projects. A couple of things I'm just going to catch you up on now though. One is, if you didn't see the hop that I did, organised by Peg Robinson, then I will leave a link to that, and also to the follow-up video where I made these rip strips. I'm really loving the way these turned out. I do want to do so many more of these, so I'll leave the link to that. This one was done with products from the train set from Your Creative Studio. I keep saying it and I'll say it again, to me it's more than just a train set, it is also kind of nice travel images. So talking about Your Creative Studio, I did get another box from them. I've filmed an unboxing and I am going to be doing more in terms of showing how I use the products. This was their art themed, I think it was the April box. And if you can be in love with a subscription box, I am in love with this one. There are just so many cool items in it, including this stamp. I can't decide for definite who this is, but I want to say Michelangelo, but I could be wrong. So there will be an unboxing video of this coming up, and I think that will be this coming Wednesday. So the Wednesday after this vlog goes up. Right, other things. I have worked a lot in my sketchbook. Now, when I say I've worked a lot, I've not actually created a lot of pages, but I got drawn into one particular page that I was working on. Let me just see if I can find it. And here it is. And I'll show various little bits and pieces of clips of doing this in this vlog. It's become a bit of a fantasy, dreamlike piece. I'm really loving it. This is more detailed than I've done in a sketchbook for a long time. I suppose in some ways it might be deemed more to be an art journal page. It doesn't matter what we call these things. It is what it is, and it's a double page spread in my sketchbook. I was starting to get a bit concerned that I was drifting away from my sketchbook again. You know, after my last sketchbook, I didn't feel the same attachment to this one. That said, I did do another page and I put this on Instagram, and my Instagram is always linked below. Looks a bit of a hot mess, but this was just wonderful. And if you're on Instagram, do check it out, check the reel out, because I have the music to the reel that I was actually listening to when I was creating this piece. And, you know, in some ways it looks like a hot mess, but there are so many areas that I just love. For me, what this did was to really test this sketchbook out. I've said before, this is the Canson. Different to the last sketchbook I was working in, which was the Sea White of Brighton. I wasn't sure about this standing up to a lot of wet media because it's thinner pages, but I have to say it stood up well. I have no hesitation now with this book in terms of using a lot of wet media. You'll see when I insert some clips, I used a lot of wet media on this as well. And for me, this was really interesting because it felt like an intuitive piece of art. I just really got into it, got into the flow of it, and suddenly started to see things, other worlds, animals, beasts, whatever you want to call them, figures, etc. Now, I did spend a lot of time on this. I reckon so far maybe 4 hours, which is a lot of time for me to spend on a page in my sketchbook. But I've got a lot of footage, so I'm going to put that all together and put that into an accelerated video. Probably won't do a lot of talking through it, but I will show the products that I've used, and that will be up perhaps next Saturday. I'm just trying to work out a kind of sequence of things. I think after this vlog there might not be another vlog for, I might miss a couple of Saturdays. I did miss a Saturday a week or so ago, missed a Wednesday as well, just other things going on. You know, other things take time and I've just got to be realistic about that. But totally loving this. I've recorded a lot of it, so I do hope that you'll be interested to see the way that this is developed. But I will in fact put in a few bits and pieces of clips here. Now the other thing that I've started, and I'm really pleased to have started this, is I've got back to canvas. I mentioned, I don't know if it's the last vlog or the vlog before that, that as well as my sketchbook was going, previous one to this, I was still kind of resistant to going back to canvas. Well, I've got back to it and I'm loving the way this is going. And again, I'll put a few bits in here, but I am actually going to, again, put this up as a process video. I thought I might be able to create this and have it ready in time for another hop, but I'm not going to rush this. I'm not going to rush this just to get it ready for something, because I really feel that I need to put the time and the effort into this. It's not that I don't put time and effort into other things. I mean, if you saw my artist book with the roots, I mean, that took a lot of time, but I had kind of planned that out in my mind the way that I saw it going. This I have kind of planned as well. I've been thinking about this for a while. Not for this particular hop, just where I wanted to go with this, and I just want to take my time and feel my way through it, if that makes sense. So again, I'll show a couple of bits of the early stages of this, but I am going to put it up as a separate video, you know, so long as I've got sufficient decent footage. So I've just got that sitting on a little easel there. I have it sitting here on the easel so that I can just kind of look at it, absorb what's there, and look at how I'm going to take it to the next stage. So I've actually just come in from the garden this morning. I've been doing some garden work, very much into autumn work just now, so it's more kind of tidying things, starting to sweep up some of the leaves. I like to leave a lot of the leaves, but sweeping up some. I've broken, not that I grow my nails, but they've got all ragged today. So ragged and dirty. If it's not paint or ink under my nails, it's good old dirt soil. So yeah, but I picked up a couple of leaves. This is off a smoke bush, otherwise known as, now is it cotinus? Oh, I just always refer to it as a smoke bush. And these are just blown off, I think, in the wind, because it's been so windy. So windy, so much rain, and then days where it's been strangely warm, 20 degrees, and then yesterday morning 4 degrees. So we're getting into the cooler mornings. So there you go, a weather report. But these have fantastic markings on them, veining, etc. I don't mind where a wee beastie or something has eaten through that. I think it just adds character, and I am probably going to use these on the gel plate. So that's a kind of run through what I've been working on, what I've got coming up. I will probably leave it at that because I do want to get some editing done on this video, get it up for Saturday. I should say this has got some wonderful crackling on it. I did use a crackling paste and I'm just loving it. I'm just seeing it sitting here in front of me, and it's, I could almost just leave it like that. So that's mainly what I've been up to. yeah, I'll insert other bits of footage here and there, possibly partway through this. I don't know, this just might be the general introduction. Kind of thinking a bit about, do I want to change the kind of format of the vlogs? I realised the other day, after I'd recorded so much, that, you know, to edit some of that down, it's nigh on impossible. So if I'm just sitting here just kind of rambling on, I don't know that that does any good. I'd rather kind of show you what I'm working on, show you bits and pieces, and then show you in more detail in the kind of follow-up videos. So yeah, no vlog for probably the next 2 Saturdays, and I'll see where we go after that. But definitely getting some videos up at some point. I'm going to try and stick to the Wednesday and the Saturday, but we'll see where that goes. So, okay, I'll sign off for now. Hi, it's Kylie Cool. Welcome to my studio. So, this feels very otherworldly. I've taken an image of it because, you know, sometimes it can end up being overworked, and I'm quite keen to see how it is, just having really used those 2 colours plus the pen. But I think I'm actually going to come in and do a bit more work, but I'm not going to show all of that in this video. Because I think it will be too long. So I might put this up as the Wednesday video as a kind of speed painting, sketching process. Lots of symbols coming through in here. Don't necessarily understand them all, but yeah. I think I'm going to end up working on this for a while today, so it's probably too long for a kind of Saturday vlog style video. I think I said a few vlogs ago that I was resistant for some reason getting back to canvas, and I still haven't got back to canvas, but today I'm really feeling the need to start painting on canvas. So I've dug this one out. Now, I started on this in one of the vlogs when I was kind of away for a while, but I was doing the kind of keeping in touch thing. I put all this kind of texture paste on it. I had something in mind at the time, then next day I thought, oh, I just don't like this, so I sanded a lot of it back. There's still bits coming off it. I still don't like it, but I'm not prepared to throw the canvas away. So I'm actually just going to put a layer of gesso on it. It won't take all of this off, but it'll hold the loose stuff in place. I also want to get through this tub of gesso. I'm just about through it. I need to put an order in for matte medium and that type of thing. Let me get a paintbrush. So yeah, I'll get an order into Jackson's soon because I'm going to need some of this. This is so thick now, but it'll be perfect for this. Ooh. I'll still get that texture, but hopefully, you know, keep it in place. Yeah, so I've got my matte medium sitting in the basket of Jackson's, but I don't like sending for just a single item because, as terrible as it might sound, I begrudge paying the postage for it. So I'm going to get something else. Scoop this out. You'll hear the sound of it's very gritty, the stuff underneath. Now, although I'm going back and forward and it looks like I'm trying to smooth it, I'm actually not going to smooth it. I'm going to put more texture in it in just a moment. So this is really now 48 hours. I can remember which way is up, I think. So lots and lots of texture, difficult to see. There we go, maybe see it a bit like that. I want to bring more texture in here, but in a different way. And then some texture down and across here, I think, and again in a different way. I'm going to take this off because it's actually warm in here today. It's a crazy 20 degrees outside, 20°C, which it shouldn't be. We've gone from 12 some days to 20 today, so yeah, should stop talking about the weather. So lots of texture, but there's two more things I'm going to do. So one is to apply some of this modelling paste. I'm going to use a stencil, I think up in this area, but I also want to apply some crackle paste. So I bought some stencils from PM Artist Studio a while back. They had very kindly gifted me some stencils in the past. And I bought these with a particular project in mind. So there's two different lots I bought. One was the Celtic knot mandala. So this is one of the things that I'm thinking of using. I bought it in different sizes. I can't remember, there's maybe another bigger size. So that was one of those. And the other one was Sea of Crescents. And I love both. But I think I bought these for a particular project. I don't think this is going to be that project, but I think it can work for the project that I want to do today. So I need to decide if that's slightly too big and that's a little too small. I don't know. I don't know if it's modelling paste. Let me see. Do I need that whole thing in? Can it go right up to the edge? I'm trying to envisage what I want to do here. Can I just put what I want to put over it? Is that big enough? I'm going to ponder for a minute. Gosh, you probably can't even see that on here. I'll ponder. Peeling paint is really quite satisfying, especially when you get little bits like that. So after only 2, maybe 3 minutes with the heat tool, I don't know if you can see, yes, there we go. So that's the finer areas, so start to crackle. And here's where I put it on thicker, so the bigger crackles. Still got a lot of drying to do. I'll blast it for another minute or 2. I'm loving this area down here, just where the different textures have all met. I need to be careful that it doesn't actually flake off though, but we'll see. So I'll do a bit more of that and then I'll show you this and we'll see where we go from there. So I'm going to start with this Vallejo Payne's Grey again. And I really just want to get a good covering over everything. The idea being that I want that to seep down and into the cracks. So I will water it down a bit. So I'm pleased with how that's looking. Lots of great texture. Some little bits of white still here and there, but that's okay because this is really just the first layer, although I'm pleased with it as a colour. Loving the texture down here and the bits and pieces throughout it. It will show up more, I think, once I start to get other colours on. So I do hope you've enjoyed that kind of look through at what I've been doing in my studio over the last, week or so. Do leave a comment below if you can. Let me know what you're working on. Are you painting? Are you glue booking? Are you thinking about what comes next? Just leave me a comment below and let me know what you're engaged in your art and or craft practice, however you like to describe it. So thanks ever so much for watching. Do take care. Bye for now.